I'll start with the first day I got here, which was crazy, and it was actually really wonderful because we had relatives with us, and so that distracted my parents, and it was really, really fun to bring my cousins down here to see Cornell, and it was just very cool to have them here. And so that night, I met Pathways people that day, and I've kind of hung out with pretty much the same group of Pathways people ever since. And that night we had a bonfire constructed by the infamous Pathy from last year. Pathy is a Pathways Success person who is really awesome because he's very friendly, and he's basically like the president of Pathways, unofficially. But he invited the Pathways people for a bonfire at his apartment that he was moving out of like the next day, because they have a yard area, and so they have a fire pit of a sort set up there. Basically what they did is they knocked over a dead tree, and they build a fire around this one part of the dead tree. And, you know, as it breaks and falls off, they either move the fire or they move the dead tree. And it was the most entertaining construction of a bonfire I've ever seen. Basically what Paul does is he and a couple other people kind of collected a whole bunch of sticks and stuff, and then he started it with like the tiniest bit of kindling and nothing really else on there. And so he starts this fire off with like 5 twigs. That's it. And he starts building up against this dead log that's over the fire. He starts building kind of a teepee type construction, but basically really all he's doing is he's grabbing random branches that are about the right size and leaning them against the part of the tree that he wants the fire to be at. And, you know, they've obviously had fires in that part of the tree before. I guess that's how they do it. But it was really, really funny because I was just thinking, I'd just been at Pirates Weekend, and the dads always construct their fires in their own way, and this was just such a random, ridiculous, really, way to construct a bonfire, and it actually worked really well. The fire kept going for a long time. Eli and I left with a couple of other people at like 10:30. Like, we turned in early, but I think it went on for at least another hour or so, and the bonfire was quite successful. So, the people I've been hanging out with that I kind of met the first few days I was here are mostly people from MCC, I won't lie. I've been hanging out with Eli, I've been hanging out with a kid named Nate, a kid named Grant, a kid named Clay, who actually, it turns out, lives right down the street from me, which is incredibly ridiculous. I thought he was like part of a skater biker gang, but actually he's not. He's actually really cool. We thought it was pretty hilarious. We found out one day at lunch that we lived basically less than like half a mile away from each other, and we were just like, no, like we couldn't believe that we'd never even like talked before because we like clicked pretty well to begin with. Other people I've been hanging out with are Tyler, he's pretty cool, and then I've been hanging out with 3 girls, Sam, who is also from MCC, and she is another communications major. I met her like right off the bat, and at first we didn't click, but then we added some more people to the mix, and it's worked better since then. We've gotten to know each other a little better. Sam's roommate, Serena, we've started hanging out with her too, and a girl from Morrisville, which is the other Pathways program school, that her name is Brooke, and she's basically, other than Serena, the only person who's not from Rochester that I know well. So it's been really fun. They're pretty cool people. I eat at least one meal with them pretty much every day, and we've had so much fun. We've gone swimming and to parties, and it's been really cool having that like Pathways community right from the start. The next thing on my list is I have deer, 4 adults and 2 fawns. That's in reference to, Sam and I were on our way to a kind of a Pathways welcome thing, that one of the previous Pathies, who's part of a small co-ed fraternity, it's the Cal's Honor Society fraternity thing, he kind of threw us a little welcoming bash, the second night we were here, I guess, and Sam and I walked over together because we were like, well, I don't know, are you thinking of going? I don't know, it's a frat. I don't know. I don't know, I'll go if you go. And so we walked over together, and we did manage to find it actually fine. But on our way, we were just about to leave West Campus, and we were walking past Alice Cook House, which is like where West Campus ends on one side. And we see these, and so this is basically right on campus. We see 4 adult deer, 2 had antlers, I think, and 2 fawns just moseying along, crossing the road, just hanging, I guess. I was like, oh my gosh, because there were lots of people out, and there were cars all over the place, and these deer are just like, yo, I'm crossing the street. Yep. It's like, cool. Like, I've seen a lot of wildlife since I've been here, because, I mean, obviously, big campus, lots of greenery. Like, I've seen garden snake, garter snakes, whatever they are, and I saw a toad the other day when I was swimming, and lots of, birds, chipmunks, squirrels, they're everywhere. But a lot of people have seen deer, but I saw 6 at once, and 2 were fawns. They were so cute. I tried to get a picture with my camera, but unfortunately I'm not very adept with my camera yet, because if it's at night, I have to change a whole bunch of settings, and very confusing, so I didn't get a picture. Otherwise I might have tried to post it. And 3 of my 4 suite mates are here, and yes, this is in fact the 3rd official day of classes, because it's Monday. And one of our suite mates, what happened is, so 3 of them are here, really cool girls, very friendly, nice, but the girl in the double, Jocelyn, her supposed roommate rolled her suitcase in the day before classes, kind of looked around. I wasn't here, so this is just, what I heard happen. And rolled her suitcase back out, and we haven't seen her since. And we haven't heard anything about who's supposed to move in there, so that's a little weird, especially considering that I know that there were people not, in the right rooms, and, like, I guess this is a huge enrolling class, and there's been a lot of, Sam and Serena are in a double that is not supposed to be a double, obviously. It only has 1 closet, which is a bit of a giveaway. So I know that there's been a bit of a housing crunch here, so I think it's strange that they've let this bed just go, but they maybe the girl hasn't told them yet that she's not taking it. It's just very strange. Obviously, since I have not been really able to record this even until now, I have been extremely busy. The Pathways people kept me very busy, and I have to say, okay, hanging out with this particular set of boys, nothing gets done quickly. Brooke and Sam and I will be like, okay, yeah, we're done eating after like half an hour. The boys are just going back for a 2nd or 3rd plate of food. We take like an hour and a half at least to eat. It's ridiculous. So nothing gets done quickly. And, I want to be like, I can't just be like, you guys are going to take another half hour to eat? Well, I'm just going to run upstairs and, take a video. And they're like, we're hanging out, we're talking, it's interesting, but it's just like these boys, they take forever to do anything, and they don't decide things very well either. Like, we'll be standing around about to go somewhere, and all of a sudden Brooke and I will be like, wait, we're not waiting for anyone else. Why are we still standing here? And then Sam will be like, yeah, you're right. Let's start walking. And we'll start walking, and they'll kind of slowly trail after us, walking slowly. They kind of meander a lot. It's really quite entertaining, but it makes pretty much everything take longer, and so that's kind of added, I think, a lot of time into my days. Plus, I'm just going to kind of like exploring the campus, which, considering how big it is, takes a while. I did take an underwear count when I got here and unpacked my underwear, and I can tell you that I have exactly 60 pairs of underwear. And I talked to Hannah recently. I've beat her by 4 pairs, which I think is totally insane. Now, granted, hers are probably overall kind of a higher quality, but seriously, I didn't think that was possible, that I could possibly have more underwear than Hannah, but apparently I do.